2 days ago, I posted a video about this article, Entrepreneurs Not Wanted. Research suggests hiring managers discriminate against small business founders. Now, as this commenter said, pay people better and then maybe folks will stay. Treat people better and maybe people will stay. But employers don't seem to want to do that. So that is the reason why in this economy, people are consistently checking their options, thinking about their options, brainstorming their options because we need a side hustle to survive, but also we want options just in case the fit isn't right, just in case they start not treating you well. Let's consider this article that I just came across in Fortune. The title, Meet a 29-year-old accountant whose resentment only climbed after her firm raised her from a salary of $60,000 to $90,000 as she made millions for them. She now has a firm of her own. Let's explore this a little. Stephanie Heredia's promotion came a year too late and more than a few dollars short. Heredia, 29, started an accounting job at a small Tampa, Florida firm with the promise that her $60,000 base salary would rise to $100,000 after 1 year. So the company made a promise. Let's see if they fulfilled it. Obviously, by the title, you know they didn't fulfill it. But at the last minute, she told Fortune the timeline became 2 years. Her eventual salary, $90,000 plus commissions. As the firm grew from 4 people to 25, Heredia's responsibilities ballooned. She was charged with opening a new unit in Puerto Rico, which went on to generate an additional $2 million annually for the firm. But asking for a raise felt like talking to a brick wall. Remember how they talk about women don't ask for raises? I don't necessarily think that that is true. And these people are perfectly fine with women in leadership as long as women don't ask for more money or know and understand our worth. She said, I'd have sales over $300,000 annually, but was only making $90,000 while doing all the work of the clients I brought in and the other work at the firm. I sadly have way too many spreadsheets comparing the money I was bringing in versus bringing home. I was starting to realize I was burning out pretty quickly. I made the decision that I couldn't keep building someone else's dream. Heredia is far from alone. Workers promoted into management positions are increasingly under stress, new research shows. Now, you know how companies keep complaining about not being able to find employees for their business. Maybe it's because they don't want to pay them what they're worth and they lump on responsibilities without the title, without the cash flow. Like people can see. And this is another reason why they probably don't want people with too many brains or that think too much. Because if folks have some discernment and they see how much they are bringing in versus how much they are doing for this job, of course, they're going to have some discontentment with that employer. It says, indeed, workers who get their first promotion into management are more likely to leave their employer immediately after compared with workers who don't get promoted, according to research from the payroll processor ADP. And a Gallup poll this week found that managers are more likely to be burnt out or disengaged than workers overall. Nearly 2/3 of the poll respondents said their job responsibilities increased, while 42% said that their budgets had been cut. Perhaps not surprisingly, a majority of managers are currently looking for new jobs. So, for Heredia, it was right after she made the decision to leave that her long-awaited promotion came. Her boss called her into his office and offered a promotion to partner, complete with a stake in the firm. This would bring her total salary to $120,000, but she was no longer eligible for commissions. So her compensation would still be cut. Now, this is like a bad relationship. So this woman expressed what she needed. They said no. And then she started game planning on how she was going to change things because they said no, and it wasn't meeting her expectations. So just as soon as she decided to step out, that's when they decided to, sweeten the deal a little bit. But had they listened to her in the beginning, had they completed They're part of the bargain when they said she would be making $100,000 after the first year. Maybe she wouldn't have started looking for another job or looking for another opportunity. This is the reason why employers are having issues today. Because yes, we are thinking people, but we want some equity and some fairness. It's not going to be completely equitable as an employee, but it can be slightly fairer. All right, it says, still, Heredia says she accepted out of exhaustion. I had worked so hard and thought that accepting would undo my resentment and make me whole again. It didn't. 6 months later, Heredia started her own firm, Taxes Tampa. A year after leaving, she insists she never felt better. So she tried to make it work. Like I said, I compared this to a bad relationship. She tried to make it work under their conditions. It didn't bring her joy, so she left. The end. We started having conversations under my first post about hiring managers not wanting to hire entrepreneurs. And we kind of understood what was going on. Employers want all of the control. They want to be able to drop people at the drop of the hat, but they expect loyalty. They expect the people to be loyal to them despite not giving a modicum of the same reciprocity or the same kind of benefits to the employee. So this person says, the part about them jumping ship is ridiculous. Before I started any entrepreneurial venture, I would jump ship due to misogyny in the workplace, toxic work culture, terrible management, pay that was too low for all of the BS they expect you to put up with. It's literally a plethora of reasons for employees to leave a job, not simply because they have higher entrepreneur ambitions. And the people that have these ambitions probably understand fairness. They can think for themselves, but the thinking for themselves understands the equity part. And as this person says, I'm sure management is not doing their part to actually keep the talent. They don't, because they don't listen until someone is almost out the door. So this person says, as a business owner, I actually have the benefit of seeing the boss's policies better than any employees who constantly complain. I think they're acting out of fear when when there's no data saying entrepreneurs leave any more than pregnant employees or sick employees, then have the nerve to cry that they can't find workers in the economy due to their own biases. Pure BS. Exactly. There's people out there that want to work, but these employers don't want to hire people for whatever reason. Entrepreneurs aren't just leaving. They're leaving for reasons. What are the reasons? This person says, it's so true because entrepreneurs usually think for themselves, while most jobs want worker bees. They don't want you thinking outside the box. Correct. So you guys go ahead. What do you think about this? I just find this, like I said, like a bad relationship. These people want so much control. They don't want to give you any benefits, but they expect loyalty. Like I said, like a bad relationship. But you guys can go ahead and weigh in on what you think is going on, how you see the shift happening. What I love about it is if people keep on leaving, maybe companies will start to shift the culture